All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Kansas City Chiefs. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's a guy on his fourth franchise in 2 years, Carlos Hyde. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. That good for 22 and a first down. A strong run by a strong runner in Carlos Hyde.
I like how you just characterize him because that's him in a nutshell. And you saw it there on that run. His ability to continually move forward and the legs always churning, I think that's one of the attributes that's really special about him.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Chiefs are going to take a first quarter lead. No problem there on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Luck, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. This is Marlon Mack, third-year running back. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. On 1st and 10, Locke. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 11 yards there, 1st down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. A look at the numbers for Mack from last week. 18 carries, 131 yards, and also the score.
They've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said...
Now a hit, and Locke lost the football. It's out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. The 30. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. Big boy earning his lunch. That's what you call rumbling with the ball, Charles.
Big man with football. He wasn't just earning lunch, Brandon. He was earning dinner. He was
midnight snack.
Everything that you could possibly do, he did it on that play to pick up the ball and go.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And the Colts getting ready to go. Luck, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. from the gun. Here's Luck. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
He's got Jack Doyle. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now a first down throw. Luck. Now a hit, and Luck lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Just his second incompletion so far is 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put...
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Devin Funchess, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Colts able to get this back within a touchdown.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Fans, a reminder, coming up tomorrow night, Monday Night Football, a couple of teams trying to get back to the playoffs after extended absences. The Browns and the 49ers, obviously a much longer absence for the Browns, but in any case, a good one from the Bay Area tomorrow night. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Handoff comes to Hyde.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down. First down, run with Hyde. Margus Hunt able to take him down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a third down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to fourth down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And that will wind up just short. He had it online. It ran out of gas at the end. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Butker, what a pickup he's been for Kansas City the last 2 years. Remember, he was drafted by Carolina to be the eventual successor to Graham Gano. That didn't pan out. Casey got him as a free agent. He's been really good.
Yeah, Gano said, oh no, I'm keeping my job. But Butker found his home in Kansas City, a franchise record for points scored in his first 2 seasons. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Wow. And this will complete right side to Funchess. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. They'll give to Hyde. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So following the run by Hyde, here's 1st and 10. Steps away to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Will Compton. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. And going deep for Hill. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Back deep, Bruce Ellington. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for in May, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team.
That was pretty obvious. He didn't let him catch it.
Agreed, and what's hard is you make that long run downfield to try and cover it, but you got to locate the football as well.
The final shot before the break. Lock to the right side to Eric Ebron. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Look, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Luck. Funchess with a catch over the middle. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Throwing on third down, Locke. And he gets it to Funchess, complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Devin Funchess, his second touchdown of the night. And the Colts have tied things up. They can take the lead with the extra point.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, one by land, two by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in.
Yeah, you know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. Here's Hyde as they begin on the ground. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Pierre Desir in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 5 now. Mahomes. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A 10th carry for Hyde. A gain of 13. It's a first down. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mahomes incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down. Mahomes now to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, it should not stop them at all from going back to him. They'll find him. Find him.
Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Locke. Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they worked this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards to pick up there. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Still on his feet. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. A big play there on the catch and run, and even 60 yards. Here's Hyde. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Margus Hunt forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. Third down, Carlos Hyde. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. KC last year on 4th down, 12 of 15, 3rd best in the league, and they're going again. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. So now Luck and the Colts down 16-14. A little under 2.5 to go. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Man open right side. It's Rodgers. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Andrew Luck, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks a season ago when he was comeback player of the year, and he needs another one right now if he wants a Colts victory. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. They'll look to throw.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it, but they've got to continue to move quickly.
The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. A big seam, and he might go all the way. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. 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 I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now all eyes shift over to the Chiefs, trailing by 5. 45 seconds remaining. They start the drive with Hyde. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. To throw is Mahomes. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Back to throw. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. Mahomes now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%. And it's 1st and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. So that effort gives them a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage, at least give your team a fighting chance.